What's up, action figure fans? It's Mike, aka Plastic Life, back with another review. This time we're taking a look at the SH Figuarts Glorio from Dragon Ball DAIMA. Let's get into it. With Dragon Ball DAIMA ending about a year ago, back in February 2025, I wonder how much interest there is still in this line. Personally, I'm happy to get this figure. I'm a fan of the show, so it's worth it for me. I do like getting these like secondary B-cast characters, although Glorio is pretty much one of the main characters in the show. But to be honest and upfront with you, this figure cost me $120 Canadian, which is quite steep for what this figure is. So really, unless you're a big fan of the show, probably avoid this figure. So if you're sticking around for the review, then let's get into it. Let's take a look at the aesthetics first. Glorio is a demon from the third demon realm who's basically tasked at finding somebody strong enough to help overthrow the demon king. So Glorio goes and recruits Goku because they defeated Majin Buu. He's got kind of like a Han Solo sort of vibe with the jacket and the gun on the waist and so on. But the figure itself is pretty clean. Paint-wise, it looks really good. Let's get a close look at the face sculpt that comes on in the package. So we have Glorio's spiky hair there. I don't really see any shading in there. If there is, it's not really noticeable. You can see the yellow in the eyes pops, contrasts the skin color, looks really good. Pretty clean, looks like Glorio from the show. The jacket is rubber, similar to SH Figuarts trunks. Underneath the jacket, you can kind of see through the armholes there. The torso does look a little bit long. Could just be me. The crotch region or the trunk region is a squishy piece. So you can see it just got stuck right underneath the torso there. So whenever you're playing with this and you're flexing and bending, make sure that you don't trap the trunks underneath like that and pinch, because you could end up warping the rubber there. But the belt is at least sculpted in there. So look at the boots, they're glossy. So the figure is clean and I do like it. It's just we're paying a lot of money and we're not really getting any shading here. So we're just kind of getting, colored plastic. I mean, it looks okay, but when you're paying this much money, you're going to want a little bit more. You're going to want some shading and some depth there, but we're not getting any of that with the new SH Figuarts lines. Let's take a look at the accessories. Glorio comes with 3 other face plates, so just port the hair off like this, and then carefully work the face plate off. Then you can take the next face plate and just port it back in. So then you get this smirking face. You get this distressed face with a little painted on sweat mark there. And lastly, you get a yelling face. We get 1 pair of fist hands that are already on the figure out of the package. We get our pistol gripping hand, and then the hand to support underneath. In typical SH Figuarts fashion, the holster is 2-piece, so it does move on his leg on a peg. You just port that off, and then remove the handle part, port back on. So then you have your empty holster, and it comes with an actual gun. Just slide that in the hand like so, and then when you want to point, you just point, and then you have the hand underneath, the left hand underneath to support. You get a pair of pointy fingers. The last 2 hands are actually not a pair. You get a right hand for blasting, and you get a left hand holding the communicator there. It's very small. Try to get that in focus. It is cool though, because they did sculpt a little ring on the back there to go with the communicator. You can use the left hand that you use to support the gun to support the arm to make it look like he's doing a blast. And the last accessory is a faceplate for the Goku. And unfortunately, Bandai has kind of made it so that in order to get all the pieces for Goku, you have to buy the figures that you may not necessarily want to buy. So let's say you didn't want to buy Goma, but he comes with all the staff pieces and things like that. This figure has this happy face for Goku. I actually like this faceplate. It looks really good on the Goku. Very kind of like happy or excited face. I'm not really sure. But it did come out really good and it works really well with the figure. Here's just a better look at the pistol. Painted well, silver, purple, and black. So overall, I'm quite disappointed with the lack of accessories for this figure. I'm happy with the face plates, but Glorio has this cool demonic power. He's got a lot of lightning around him when he's doing attacks and things like that. I just wanted to see some of that here, even just a blast effect for the pistol, or, you know, you have these pointy fingers and he does these energy blasts with his fingers or energy balls, similar to what Frieza does. So I would have liked to see something along those lines of that. Just, you know, give us something. It's a $120 figure. Like, we need a little bit more here. We're not going to get any paint shading, so let's get a little bit more accessories. All right, so let's get into the articulation then. The jacket is squishy, so it's not really going to hinder the movement of the head too much, but he can look up about that much and look down a lot more. Just keep the head up and rotate. The jacket will get in the way here. And when you rotate, you start to make the faceplate come off the head sculpt there. You can tilt the head side to side. The arms are slightly hindered by the jacket, so when you bring the arm up, you can see it kind of compressing there. And if you try to push it in, it just kind of pushes back against you there. But the arms can go all the way around. The shoulder can drop down and pop back up. It can come out to this side about that much. You have a bicep swivel. We have butterfly joints in the shoulders. The jacket being squishy doesn't really get in the way, so you can kind of cross his arms about that much without forcing it too much. You have single jointed elbows that produce this movement, and this joint looks really much like Figma joints, where it's like that disc joint. But SH Figuarts tends to use these on the smaller figures as well. Gives you a little bit more than 90. The standard SH Figuarts wrist joints, they're very tiny, so just be careful when you're playing with it. The torso functions very well. You can bend forward about this much and bend back about this much. Get really good side to side movement, but then you expose that gap there. There's not a lot of rotation in the upper part of the torso, but full rotation in the lower torso, but again, you do have that gap there. The pistol holder is just on a flat peg like that. It's not a ball peg, so you're only going to get rotation on this. You're not going to get side to side movement. The legs can kick up very high. Because the crotch and glute piece is rubber, the legs can go back really far. For sideways movement, just move the pistol pouch out of the way and you can get pretty good movement. There's an upper thigh swivel. Single jointed knees that function this much. They do kind of look ugly from the back just because of the way that disc is. There's no boot rotation, but the ankles can move up this much. They can move down that much. They can rotate inwards and outwards. There is a toe hinge. It's kind of ugly, but it's okay. Functions well. So if you want this Glorio to move, you can get it in some really kind of deep crouching poses if you really want to get down that far. For size comparisons, here's Daima Mini Goku, Daima Mini Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Although height-wise this does look good, I do find that the mini Daima figures, their heads are just too big, so it kind of ends up looking like it's out of scale. Here he is next to Adult Piccolo and Adult Goku, and I do find that maybe this Glorio might be a little undersized. I do remember Glorio being maybe just a little bit shorter than Goku in the show, but I could be wrong. Here he is next to a third-party Kid Buu. This is the Tonson Art Toys Kid Buu. Final thoughts on this figure. It's an okay figure if you're into the Dragon Ball Daima line, but it is far too expensive for what you get with this. I would only buy this if you are a true Dragon Ball fan, true Daima fan, or you just want the extra faceplates for Goku, but this is probably a skip for most people. So there you have it. What are your thoughts on this Glorio? Did you even pick it up? Did you remember that it was being released? Leave a comment below, hit that like button, subscribe, go to plastic.life on Instagram, and follow for more toy pics. Just remember, at the end of the day, this is your collection, so buy whatever makes you happy. I hope you check out my next reviews. Take care.